Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Welcome back to Steve and Larson's Pro Wrestling Podcast, ruining pro wrestling podcasting since 2014. On today's episode, of course, we're going to talk about the go-home episode to SummerSlam of Raw, Monday Night Raw, where we got, I guess, we can talk about the go-home math for various matches that we think could go either way. I think a lot of these matches could go either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I guess, there are some segments that were clear that their existence on this show was just to signify the go-home math. And not much else.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's go-home math for you. We're going to talk about last night's Monday Night Raw in anticipation of SummerSlam. Of course, we're going to be doing our live watch-along of SummerSlam this coming weekend right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson and over at twitch.tv/Steven Larson. And then we'll be doing our review right after over at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. We'll be doing our star ratings the next days, I guess. This week, couple programming notes. So the Unreal show has dropped. And given that we got to work all weekend, we figured, hey, you know what? Here's a little peek behind the scenes. We have no desire to work like 10 days in a row. So
we've done that before. It's exhausting.
So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the Unreal show. And then that'll be our Thursday episode. And
Sorry, NXT and AEW.
Yeah, this week we're just going to take a break from the NXT and the AEW, and then we'll be back with our reviews for those shows next week. Is AEW supposed to be? I don't even know what's booked for AEW this week. It's supposed to be a big show. Oh yeah, it's the Mox Hangman.
That's right.
Well, Hangman's going to win that match. Here's the review.
Well, yeah.
Really good match, but Hangman wins.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our big Unreal, all 5 episodes reviewed on the Thursday show. So keep an eye out for that. And then of course the big SummerSlam thing. And then next week we got other stuff because we're taking a vacation the weekend after that. So That's the deal with Steven Larson. Where do you want to get started on this? Raw?
Wow. I was texting you last night about this particular go-home show of Raw. At the point of a go-home episode, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, TNA Impact, is to build anticipation and excitement and to get people interested in spending their money, I guess in this case, subscribing to Peacock, on this show you're putting on. And if that was the goal, implied or overtly stated, and I thought last night's Raw, for the most part, was pretty much an abject failure in building any sorts of anticipation.
Oh, wow.
For SummerSlam, but isn't that kind of fitting with the build to SummerSlam overall, which, barring a few examples, has been kind of underwhelming?
I mean, yeah, it hasn't been the strongest build. I'm looking forward to some of these matches, though. I thought Punk's promo was pretty decent.
That was horrendous, man. Come on.
You hated it?
The whole premise is Gunther comes out and says, I outshone CM Punk on the mic. And Punk's retort was to come out and immediately forget his lines and then say Constellation Prize instead of Consolation Prize. And it was just basic baby face. Again, he's contradicting himself because just a few weeks ago he's like, I don't care about winning championships. And now he doesn't just want to win the World Heavyweight Championship. He needs to win it.
He's got a fiend for it. He's got an addiction. Yeah, I thought he had some pep in his step in a feud that otherwise had really no pep in its step. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was bad. I mean, we did lose his lines a couple times. That's sort of CM Punk these days. He just goes out there and you can see him searching for lines. You
know what? If the whole idea is that Gunther comes out and says, I outdid Punk on the mic last week, you got to have your shit sharp, man. It's got to be razor sharp to come out here. And if your whole point is to prove Gunther wrong, because at the end, Gunther was all upset. I'm like, why are you upset, Gunther? He forgot his lines.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's not difficult to outdo Gunther on the mic. You can kind of phone it in to outdo Gunther on the mic. He's not the most. Gunther's thing isn't the promo.
No, I'm aware of that.
So
he's not bad on the mic.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, he makes his point. Sometimes he's, he is what we know what we get with Gunther.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. It cracked me up. The thing there were a couple funny parts about CM Punk's promo. We'll just get into it. We'll go bit by bit because I know you got some airing of grievances here for Raw last night. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought there were some good matches. I thought the crowd was all right.
Yeah, there were some good matches. The crowd was all right. But again, in terms of a go-home show, I'm like, this didn't do much to build any sort of anticipation for SummerSlam, at least in my mind.
So Gunther comes out. He says, crowd's giving him shit. It was a good crowd last night. It wasn't just all right. It was a good crowd last night. In fact, like when I turned it on, it was the mixed tag match, which I thought was really good. And the crowd was hot for that. And in fact, I was like, is this crowd like piped in? Like, because it's really good. But it didn't seem like the sort of canned piped in shit they usually do. I was like, oh, look at this crowd's up for it. So anyways, Gunther comes out. He's like, oh, everybody calm down. Last week was a clean victory for me. I went toe-to-toe on the microphone with the supposed best talker in the business, supposed best in the world. You figured it out. I'm against CM Punk. He says, what I did was walk down here, look him straight in the eye, and say what's going to happen at SummerSlam, and I left the voice of the voiceless speechless. He says, I might have tapped out, but I have a lot to say about CM Punk, because the crowd's giving him shit for having tapped out. He says, I made him understand he doesn't deserve to call himself best in the world. Made him understand he'll never be champion, and most importantly, I made him shut the hell up. So that brings out, because they had like a really brief promo last week. So that comes out, that brings out CM Punk. He says, speechless? No, more dumbfounded. Not because of anything you did or said, but the moment and the gravity of the situation dawned on me, standing across the ring from someone. You're great. You're really great. Belt around your waist. It dawned on me, I don't want to be world heavyweight champion. I need to be world heavyweight champion. He says, I need to be champion like I need air in my lungs. And here's the thing. We have to mention this really quick. I know we don't do this show chronologically anymore, but chronologically, they opened up with, for Raw, because they already did this on SmackDown, they opened up with the Hogan tribute. And everybody standing out there, and Dom looking like he didn't give a shit about being there. CM Punk being like, why do I have to be in the front? He angled for the back. He started out in the back, and then they were probably like, Punk, we need you up here. All the big names, we got to be up front. And he's like, shit. I already had to do the Saudi Arabia thing, apologizing to Muhammad. Now I got to be in the front. So Punk goes up front, and he's like, oh, God, I talked about burying Hulk Hogan and Hulk.
He seemed pretty self-conscious about being in the front row, yes.
A little bit, right. And then, as if Moses talking to God on high, or however that worked out in the Bible, you hear the voice of Triple H. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, where is Triple H? And it's just the same audio from SmackDown, I think.
You know what's interesting is that he had a flub in that audio. There's something he said that he stumbled over his words at first.
Yeah.
And if they're going to use a pre-recorded audio, why not redo it so the flub's not in there?
Good question.
Because if it is the same audio from SmackDown, it's very distinctive. Like, it's easy to point out, oh, he flubbed on SmackDown, he flubbed here.
So I'll be honest with you, I did not notice it because I was like, I was in the kitchen when they did the tribute thing. I turned it on and I noticed they were doing a tribute again. And I was like, this is whatever. So I went and I started doing the dishes and I was keeping an eye on it. And I was like, this sounds familiar, but it didn't really dawn on me what they did. Cause I was looking, I was like, where's Triple H? I was like, where's the game?
Yeah. I didn't notice he wasn't there
I was like,
something.
Maybe he's off to the side or something. I didn't really pay close attention. And then I get on the Twitter and everybody is like, oh my God, they just used the same audio as they did from SmackDown. If they're wrong about that and I'm wrong about that, I didn't do a lot of, Dateline-esque, journalism here to suss out the truth. But in any event, it seemed like it was the same audio from SmackDown. They rolled the Hogan video package. Anyways, getting back to it. So Punk says, I need to be champion, like I need my heart to pump blood through my veins. I need this like the Detroit Red Wings needs its 12th Stanley Cup. I need it like a Midwest. This straight edge dude says, I need it like a Midwest dad needs a frosty old style while he's outside mowing the lawn. And he says, now because immediately you think, wait a second, Punk, you don't know what a beer tastes like. What are you talking about here?
Yep.
He says, I don't drink or smoke or do drugs, but I know addiction. And immediately I put it together. I'm like, is he saying that old Midwest dad mowing the lawn, in his estimation, has an addiction
To old style.
because not everybody who drinks has an addiction for it. I could easily put down the spirits if I wanted to. Whenever we joke
do for large
about
stretches, yes.
Whenever we joke about getting our load, I mean, I go months and months without an old style Frosty. And in fact, when I do my yard work, I stay the fuck away from spirits.
Yeah.
Because it just dehydrates the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I actually
drink a beer.
I usually use some liquid IV when I do my yard work.
Yeah,
I don't know.
same.
I just thought it was funny. He tries to paint a picture to ingratiate with the fans. Oh, I know what you Midwesterners like. Beer when you're doing your lawn. He's a real straight edge man of the people. That
I
CM
guess
Punk.
so. I guess so. So,
I thought that
he
was
said
funny.
I said I don't drink or smoke or do drugs, but I know addiction. This place, wrestling, is my addiction. I need that title so I can raise it above my head to say thank you for the millions of people who chanted my name over the years. You think it's a constellation prize, but it means everything to me and something to them. I need to be world heavyweight champion. For as great as you are, you say I don't deserve to call myself the best in the world. I give it to you. You're correct. I don't deserve to be called that. I earned it. I deserved it and earned it. I earned the right to be arrogant about it. And you're out here as champion being as arrogant as me, but you can't back it up. I left a trail of bodies of Hall of Famers, legends, and superstars. And you want to compare your career to mine? This isn't apples to apples. Gunther tries to interrupt, but Punk puts his hand on the mic, says, I wasn't finished. There's levels to this, kid. You'll find out after SummerSlam. You're not on my level. As great as you are, Saturday night, I'm leaving World Heavyweight Champion. But hey, at least you're able to share the ring and be able to feel what it's like to be in the ring with the one and only best in the world, CM Punk's.
Now, this is where you can also take issue with this. Because I thought that like the delivery was really good. Yeah, he confused consolation and consolation, but I often, the one word. I'm curious if you'll admit to having something similar to this, or if you can think of one. Not if you'll admit to it. I know you're an honest guy. Mimosas, samosas. I always get those mixed up.
Really?
Yeah. I know mimosas is what you drink, samosas is what you eat. But in the moment, whenever we're talking, if you're like, oh man, it sounds great, a mimosa, I think to myself the food. Or if you say, oh man, I'm really hungry for a samosa, I think the drink. Yeah, I always get those mixed up. Is there anything similar now that we're in our old age that you can, because saying, oh, the consolation prize, it's not difficult to say constellation prize.
I know, but given that he already messed up his lines at the beginning, I was like, Punk, come on.
Only
You're
had
supposed to come out here sharp.
Here's the thing. Number one, Larson. And yes, I'm going to defend Phil here. I didn't defend him in Saudi or for Punk Life. You know that. But I'll defend him on this one. He's my age. He's virtually your age, too. I mean, he's at that point. Nobody's sharp at this age, man. He's been doing this for a very long time.
But I just watched the first episode of Unreal, and he's talking about in the high-pressure situations, that's what he thrives. When the pressure's on, that's when he does his best. And the idea here, if he's coming out right after Gunther says, oh, I outclassed CM Punk on the mic, and then Punk's supposed to come out here and show that he can't be outclassed on the mic.
I think he did that, though. This had much more fire than any Gunther promo. And I like Gunther, and I can appreciate what Gunther brings, but give me a break. Gunther doesn't show this. He just sort of chuckles his way through promos.
But here's the thing. I'm not going to say that last week Gunther outdueled Punk on the mic, but if he comes out and says that, the first thing CM Punk can't do is forget his lines.
Oh, it feels real. It feels like, not manufactured. What?
Come on now.
All right. Anyways, I think you're going to.
But it wasn't like a situation like Kevin Owens will forget his lines. He'll kind of make it feel natural. But you got CM Punk standing there.
Oh no! It could be.
Come
on, it was a minor
2 or 3
thing.
beats.
It's a minor.
I don't know. You watch it again, and it's a good 5 seconds.
I watched it enough. Anyway,
totally forgot his lines.
Anyways, yeah. So let me ask you this though.
Sure.
Because this was this is like the one. This is the opening segment. Yeah, this is the opening segment. Because the main event was the Jey Uso stuff. It was.
Wait, what was the opening segment? Punk and Gunther?
Punk and Gunther, wasn't it? Or no?
No. The show opened with Jay coming out and Heyman. That was the
Oh,
opener.
God, that's right. Look, if you want to criticize a promo situation.
Oh, that was hecka boring. That advanced nothing.
Boy, that was boring.
Yeah.
But this, look, here's the problem I have with the substance. Larson, what's the math on this? How long has Gunther been champion?
Oh, like 90% of his time in WWE.
Now, let me take a look at CM Punk's 434-day reign.
Oh,
As
who
champion.
he beat during that title reign?
You want to take a look? Do you want like to see the bodies that he's? What the hell is this? Oh, that's on.
Oh,
EO
like
Sky.
well,
That's
first of
weird.
all, it's like Ryback 5 times.
Which, if it was me, I would put Ryback in the Hall of Fame in a second just to hear that particular speech. Golly, CM Punk's cage match score is like 9.5. That's crazy high.
Yeah, people really like CM Punk.
Let's take
I
a
guess
look at
Cage
some.
Match. Think he's a top 10 wrestler of all time. Then
All right, let's take a look at some of the bodies here. Let's see here. When did he win that champ? When did he win it? When did he do the 400?
he got it back from he got it back
It
from
was like 2011.
Del
2012.
Rio at Survivor Series 2011, I believe.
Here we go. Okay, yeah, you got it. Let's
And had
see
it till
here.
the Rumble 2013. We lost to Rock.
So here we go. You're right. Triple threat, CM Punk. I'm trying to get to the thing. Okay, so yeah, Alberto Del Rio. There we go. There's a title change. Alberto Del Rio. On Raw the next night, Dolph Ziggler, now known as Nick Nemeth. Let's see here. A lot of Del Rio in the early days of that. His next feud, or at least on Raw and in the house show circuit, The Miz. Then we had a bunch of Dolph Ziggler. A lot of Dolph Ziggler. Still Dolph Ziggler. Oh, here we go. Of course, Chris Jericho. I think that was at WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken. He did a thing with Jericho at WrestleMania. Ryback. Lots of Ryback, as you mentioned already.
There was a lot of Ryback.
Yeah. I'm not saying that CM. Oh, the Big Show.
Well,
Jesus Christ. Yeah. There's not a lot of greatness here. Look, CM Punk's career speaks for itself. It's great. You can go back to Ring of Honor. You can look at AEW. He did a lot of cool shit. All right. But Gunther's been champion like 85% of the time he's been in WWE.
yep.
So I don't know if like the substance of it. I think I need the title, and I know he said he wanted that for Cena, but like when he first came back, I'm here not to make friends but to make money, and in the universe, to make money, you got to be the champion. At this point, I'm sort of dismissing the whole Cena feud thing. So yeah, man, I don't know. To say you don't have the credentials to Gunther, a guy who's been champion for as long as he's been in WWE, a very long time now, I think is a bit on the disingenuous side. I will grant you that, Larson. I'll grant you that.
It was, and it feels like a promo he could have delivered to anybody. It wasn't necessarily specific to Gunther per se. You know what I mean? Like he could have been standing across the ring from just about anybody in WWE.
Well, I mean,
if at the time that person was saying, "Oh, I'm the best wrestler here," nothing necessarily about it was specific to Gunther.
Well, I mean, yeah, the guy's saying I'm the best because he is, he's the champion, A, and B, he's been champion in the company for nobody has, I think, the percentage of time in company versus how long he's been champion. So I do kind of think that it does make sense for Gunther to lay that claim and for Punk to respond to that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Gunther, it's kind of like the flip side of that is like when Gunther said, "Oh, Randy Orton, you don't have you're great, but you're not there are some things that you haven't done." And it's like, Gunther, no, bro, it doesn't work with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
14 time.
That Randy has not lived up to his potential, yet he's a 14-time world champion. Yeah, that.
Like Gunther says that about Randy, and then Punk says that about Gunther. None of it kind of holds much weight in my opinion.
Nope.
But that being said, I thought that the promo was fine, and I think I'm really looking forward to this match. But the question that I have is, given that Punk has laid, and this is what I'm wondering, given that Punk has laid this out for Gunther, Punk is setting himself up as my career speaks for itself, and you haven't done enough in your career in WWE. Are they setting this up for Gunther to beat Punk?
Yeah. Yeah, if Seth doesn't cash in.
You
I don't
think
feel
that's
like
how
Punk's
this goes
one way or
down?
the other. I don't feel like one way or the other Punk's walking out with that title. I think there's only one person Punk is going to beat to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's Seth Rollins.
Does Gunther beat CM Punk straight up?
Now that I don't know. We don't know exactly what the deal is with the Seth Rollins injury deal. A lot of times when somebody is hurt and is going to be out a while, they do a little bit more to explain the situation. They haven't really done that here. They've been really insistent on saying, oh, Seth Rollins has till June to cash in. That's not an issue. Seth hasn't addressed the issue apart from being on the Rich Eisen show. He hasn't in any official way on TV. He's completely disappeared. And we'll talk about it a little bit. It's like Bron Breakker is filling that power vacuum within that group. Now, is it a situation where, all right, Seth's going to be out for several months? They're adding some dimension. That was like one of the major things I liked about Raw last night was Braun stepping up in that regard. I thought was the most interesting thing on Raw, probably. Now, is that a ruse to further solidify the idea that Seth could do a surprise deal at SummerSlam? Or is it a situation where Braun is earnestly and legitimately trying to fill that power vacuum, being completely unaware that Seth is going to come back? It's one of those three situations.
Yeah, CM Punk is like one of the most protected guy. Every loss he's had since he's come back has been super overly protected. And I feel like this is going to be no different. Mm-hmm. So either it's going to be a fake out cash in where Seth Rollins comes down, says, oh, look at me. I think it would not shock me at all if Rollins did come back. It's been very quiet on that front lately after when the initial injury happened. Oh, is it fake? Is it real? It wouldn't shock me to see the cash in and to see Punk beat Rollins at WrestleMania. I think that sounds right. That sounds totally right.
Yeah, it does.
As far as what they do here, that's assuming the injury is fake. If the injury is real, then I don't know. I mean, Gunther could cheat because he's done that before. It doesn't happen very often, but he does cheat. He has cheated. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might pivot and just put the damn title on Punk, but I kind of feel like they're setting it up, so that Gunther benefits from beating Punk, who's like, hey, my career is legendary, and then Gunther beats him, and so he gets some of that. He gets some of that stank. He takes
a bit of CM Punk's power, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of which, hold on.
Well, hold on. I want to ask you a question, though, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, given that Gunther now might stand to benefit from getting the CM Punk rub, who's going to get the rub in the Big Blue Predictions Challenge? That's right. It's back for August. SummerSlam kicks it off. We got both nights of SummerSlam, Forbidden Door, and the Clash in Paris. And the big question is, who's going to dethrone the person who dethroned Steve and get that several separation degrees away from rub?
I think at that point the rub is basically non-existent.
Probably more important, of course, would be who's going to get the big prize for the predictions challenge this time around. And it's not on this computer, so I got to grab it really quick. But you know what, man, I decided to do, because I was really stuck. I was like, I don't really know what to do here. So what I did was I just whipped up like a really wild colorway for the jersey. Like I just did another jersey. And then what now? Okay, it's not even here. And so yeah, you get that, and then you get a shirt where it's got, because this is probably the last time you're going to see this branding up here.
Yeah,
the whole John Cena branding, because I'm pretty sure he's going to lose that damn thing. Oh, here we go, save image as. And so I came up with this jersey color scheme here and this shirt, and then you mentioned yesterday the bucket hat. And so I've got that as well. And here it is. There we go. I put it up on the thing for everybody to take a look at. It's kind of reminiscent of like the Charlotte Hornets, but then there's also some like green, like super green on it. And then you get a shirt that says the last real predictions champion, and then a bucket hat that says the same. So there it is. There's the August predictions prize for you for whoever wins. And then you get the whole, 6 degrees of Steve rub.
I think at that point, the rub is pretty minimal.
It's a small rub.
Yeah, it's fairly diluted at that point.
Right, exactly.
All right, I'm going to pose a question to you. Oh, sorry.
Click join to get in on it, or go to patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Friendo Club setup there. What's your question?
Let's assume Seth comes back to cash in at SummerSlam, a surprise. What's the worst way they could do that?
The worst way they could do that?
Let's say the setup is as follows. CM Punk just hits the GTS on Gunther, and it looks like, if he can just get over there in time to make the cover, he's going to win this match. That's what precedes anything. What's the worst? Because I was thinking about this morning. Would it be beneficial at some point during SummerSlam to set up A, Seth Rollins is there, B, obviously dealing with an injury. He's, walking with crutches, got a giant knee brace, something. Do you think that would amplify the surprise of the cash-in, or if he just comes out of nowhere after not being on TV for weeks and shows up running to the ring in a full sprint, would that be more effective?
Oh man, I don't know. It's probably I forget, is this a stadium show or arena show?
Stadium
show. It's gonna be a long ass ramp. The worst way, boy. The place is gonna pop huge for that music. I don't know. Are you saying like you want some sort of symbolic act of like he comes out in crutches and throws them away? Or should he just be sprinting like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible?
Yeah, because, if it's the situation, let's say because...
Every scenario I'm coming up with in my head, I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Braun Breaker shows up with the briefcase. People are like, what the fuck? Braun Breaker's doing it? Braun Breaker comes down with the briefcase and a ref, and then Rollins comes from behind. It's a stomp on Punk. And then they cashes in, and you don't have to stand anybody up, so he just cat.
Yeah.
While Gunther's out there forever selling the GT. You got to do it kind of quick if it's gonna because I think your scenario makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It'd be pretty funny if Seth shows up still with knee brace on, wins, and does the dramatic ripping off the knee brace or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wasn't hurt.
The worst way, I don't. In terms of besides like some botch of him falling over, I don't know. It all sounds kind of cool. I don't know if there's a worst way to do it.
But do you think it'd be better to establish him at some point early during night one, like for example, even if it's just a backstage bit?
No, you don't show him at all. No. Right. Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, that him being there would telegraph that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And in fact, I fully expect there to be regular Seth Rollins reports, travel reports in the, day leading up, 2 days leading up to it.
Oh, he was spotted in somewhere in New Jersey.
They're going to have to, he's going to have to, have a hoodie and a ski mask on the entire time,
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, we'll see how that all plays out. So that's how the Gunther stuff happened. Let's talk about, I guess we could talk about what Bron Breakker being the new leader of Seth Rollins, the Seth Riders.
Yeah, potentially. Let's get through. I'm not going to do this verbatim, but the show opened with Jay coming to the ring.
Jesus Christ, thank you very much.
I'm not going to do it verbatim. And so he's doing the yeet stuff. He's going to do the encore. Paul Heyman interrupts and spends a very long time pretty much saying, family's going to let you down.
Sometimes I don't know if it's like, am I just not in the mood to watch this right now? Or is this really bad? Because sometimes I'll watch something and I'll be like, God, this seems kind of boring. And then people the next day will be like, wow, this is great. And I'm like, oh, I guess I just wasn't in the mind space. But like, I'm watching this and I'm like, boy, Heyman is saying a whole lot of nothing right now. What is it going on about Santa Claus now? What's happening?
Yeah, the whole idea is he cites some example. Hey, did your mom tell you that Santa Claus existed? She lied to you. Did your dad say that he wanted you to be more iconic than he ever was? He lied to you. You know, and when Roman said you were next in line to be tribal chief, but then he picked Solo, lied to you. And setting up the idea that Roman's going to let him down at SummerSlam. And Jay responds, family is why I'm here. I'm going to tell you one more time, keep running your mouth about my family because I don't play about mine. I'm going to pull up for them every time because that's just me. The bloodline still runs through my veins. You out here talking crap, disrespecting me, all the things I could do without Roman. No, I went on my own to prove it to myself, no one else. He says, we know what time it is. We brought you into our family. Here's what will happen. You screwed over my cousin. Your guy screwed me over. It's on you, OG. Whatever happens tonight and at SummerSlam is on your ass. 4 letters, 1 word. They yeet. And then Jay's like, nah, we're running this shit back. We get the encore. So then later on, we see Bronson Reed, who's facing Jay in the main event, with Paul Heyman backstage. And Heyman says, well, I hear now Jey Uso's family is saying that with Seth on the shelf, we're nothing more than a group without a leader. Bron steps in, says, which we have now. He walks up to Bronson and says, you got this. We've got this. Tonight you'll destroy Jey Uso. You will tsunami Jey Uso and will restore ultimate power and total control over all of WWE. Starts tonight with you. And Bronson says, tonight Jey Uso and a member of his family will leave down, out, and tsunamied. And Heyman says, well, that worked. And then Braun says, I have a plan.
It involves stealing shoes. Given that Braun didn't explicitly say, which we now have, is that maybe potentially conspiracy theory sign for, no, Seth is actually fine. We do have a leader, and it is Seth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a possibility as well.
It would mean if he come in and says, which we now have is me.
Yeah, if he had a shirt that said Braun is now leader.
Yeah.
Braun equals leader.
Yeah, Braun number 1. Yeah,
Braun number 1. Well, still, that's not, necessarily leader. It'd have to say Braun is now the leader.
He had the org chart of everybody in the group.
Yes, thank you.
With him
the
on
org
top.
chart, exactly, yeah. That's what they need. Also, just a quick side note, I totally, like a lot of people, thought Jey Uso said, nah, fuck that, we're running this shit back. He did say shit, which was hilarious, but he said bump that. Yeah. But I had to rewind it, and then I got on Twitter, I was like, did he say fuck? And a bunch of people were like, it sounded like he said fuck that, but he said bump that. The captions confirmed that, by the way.
Yeah. So then the main event, we had Jay versus Bronson Reed. We got a DQ finish here. So Jay hits a suicide dive on Bronson. Braun shows up and just hits Jay with a spear. It's a DQ. So then Bronson and Braun are attacking Jay. Roman, his music hits. He makes his way out. He takes out Reed, goes after Braun, clotheslines him. Breaker gets super kicked off the apron. Superman punch to Bronson. Jay and Roman go for double spears, but instead Braun spears Roman. This is on the floor. And then Bronson lays out Jay, puts him back in the ring. So then Breaker hits him with the spear. Bronson follows the tsunami, and then Braun sees Roman starting to get up. So he goes out, takes out Roman with the flying clothesline thing on the announce table. They put Roman back in the ring. Bronson hits him with a tsunami, and then Braun follows with a spear. And then he hits a double spear on Roman and Jay and puts them both through the barricade. Mm-hmm. So the Seth Riders standing tall to end the show. And then Bronson Reed takes off Roman's Jordan 3s.
Yeah, I like that. I like those ones.
We've seen Bronson rocking some J's. He's had some.
He's
Jordan
always
4s on before.
He's always wearing.
He's just adding to his collection. I understand that.
He was. I think last week he was wearing the Agassiz. But
yes,
the different. Yeah, but the orange and blue.
Orange and like kind of light blue tealish type colorway.
Yeah, those are nice. The pink. I love the white and pink ones that I have. They're so comfy. They're super comfy.
To check those out then.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah. So he took his shoes. That was funny to me.
That was funny. That was a nice touch.
It was a very nice touch. It's a little bit of personality there, It's like, hey, what do I care about? Sneakers.
Yeah.
I like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But, so yeah, I mean, that's, Roman's going to win that shit.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the segment that telegraphs go home math. Yeah, yeah,
It does, yeah. It's that old school wrestling thing of like, oh, look at the bad guys, they can win. When it's like, okay, let's talk about this. God damn, man, WWE's women's division. You take a look at this fucking 8-woman tag
Loaded.
match. Oh
Loaded.
my god, it's crazy. It is nuts. So they got this huge match. So backstage we see Naomi. She's in an interview asked about her triple threat. She says, why are you asking me about some mess like that? She says, I'll tell you what, Rhea's not the only one bringing the brutality, and Io may be a genius to the sky, but I can fly too. She said, those two, like the rest of the heifers in the back, are fake and phony, passive-aggressive. Me, I'm aggressive-aggressive. Tonight will be a cautionary tale. Throw the past, present, or so-called future, I'll take them all out. When I walk out and prove them all wrong again, don't look shocked. You've all been warned to proceed with caution. And so we had Naomi, Chelsea Green, and the Secret Hervis versus Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, Nikki Bella, and Io Sky. Jesus Christ, what a team that is right there.
yeah.
That was crazy. And this match was a ton of fun.
It was probably the best match on the whole show. The face team gets the win after Stephanie hits her finisher on Chelsea to get the W. And then afterwards, we have the winning team, Nikki, Io, Stephanie, and Rhea celebrating backstage. Nikki and Stephanie leave, and then Rhea says to Io, hey, I'm going to have your number at SummerSlam. And Io says, you've never beat me, and you never will.
Yeah, Rhea needs to stop talking. Just stop talking. Either do it or you don't. At this point, either you do it or you don't.
Exactly.
I feel like at
she can say, I'm
SummerSlam,
going to beat you every time, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, you just laughs it off. And this
Again,
is
telegraphing that they're going to be so focused on each other allows Naomi to get that win.
Yeah, which is great because it feeds into the Rhea story still of like she can't beat Io.
Mm-hmm.
This was not the best in the world. Lyra Valkyria had a promo, which ended with her taking a kendo stick to Becky Lynch, but it was actually kind of funny because Lyra has a promo. She says, we're 5 days away from SummerSlam. Detroit, how do we feel? She said, not only are these my big shoes, she has like some super platform sneakers. She says, I call these my Becky Stompers. She says, 1 week I'm going to stand here as your first 2-time women's IC champion, or I'll have failed and never again challenge for the title as long as Becky is champion. She said, if it happens, it's a good chance I won't be, if that happens, there's a good chance I won't be standing here at all. She'll need to beat me into the ground and win at SummerSlam. She don't like playing by the rules. It's how she beat me in the first place, but fine. Let's try it her way. No rules to break if there are no rules. You think I'm playing into her hand, but I've seen everything she's done and what she's capable of. It just came off like, hey, go out there for 5 minutes and talk. So she keeps talking. Becky's music hits. She feigns like she's paying attention to the ramp, the entrance.
Yeah.
But she knows that Becky is smarter than that. And so she's waiting. And then she bounces off the ropes and runs the other way. And the camera catches Becky, and she just sort of it's like that 2K. It's like when Baron Corbin was just standing around on our 2K game that one time. She just standing there with the kendo stick like, hey, everybody, what's going on? And it's like, if you're trying to sneak attack, you got to sneak attack.
Yeah.
You can't just sort of stand there for people. And so she gets caught by Lyra. She gets hit in the head. She does the thing where she goes through the ropes. And then she gets
drop kick, yeah.
Yeah. And then she gets a kendo stick, Lyra does. And she just absolutely destroys Becky with this kendo stick, just completely destroys her with it.
The whole segment, you mentioned that bit where Becky is kind of chilling ringside waiting for Lyra to respond to her sneak attack. But then also when Lyra's hitting Becky with the kendo stick, Becky will hold her midsection and then raise her arms.
It's so hey, here's another shot. Here's another shot.
Lyra could hit her.
Yeah.
Sell. Raise her arms. Sell.
Yeah.
Raise her arms.
And this isn't unique to them. They do this all the time. But especially, and I understand from a performer standpoint, you got to be kind of careful when you're in close quarters and there's fans right there. So she can't necessarily wild out. And then on top of that, you're trying to protect the person that you're hitting and they're trying to communicate to each other. I get it. But they should find a different way to telegraph all that shit because it does kind of look too manufactured. But
Yeah, it does. So at the end, eventually Becky catches the kendo stick, but then runs into a Nightwing attempt from Lyra, but Becky escapes that.
so let me ask you
Scrambles out
this.
of the ring. What?
We'll skip ahead to this thing right here because Bailey later on has an interview. She's being interviewed by Jackie. She says, "So what's next? Because you're not in the Intercontinental title thing anymore." She says, "You know what? I missed Mania. Now I'm missing SummerSlam for the first time in my career. I'm speechless." Does Bailey get involved here?
Seems likely, don't it?
I think it does. Yeah.
And if we're to believe the go-home math for that particular segment with Lyra standing tall, then Becky might be so upset about missing out that she costs...
Bailey might be so upset about missing out.
Yeah, Bailey might be so upset that she ends up costing Lyra the match.
I kind of feel like that's probably.
And then they'll go off and do have their feud.
Yeah.
Lyra can't challenge for the Intercontinental title anymore as long as Becky's champion. Becky will face more challengers. So
I'm kind of curious if they would, because I mean, I mentioned this before. I said when I heard this was a stipulation, I was like, oh, Lyra probably is going to lose this because she's kind of made, and you can make more people with Becky in that title. I'm curious what the idea is going to be here now with Bailey. If she's going to attach herself to Becky, they'll be like, a team kind of, and Bailey will go back to being a bad guy. They'll do kind of a 2-woman power trip. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
It could be, or it could be a situation
to a feud
where Bailey, I was gonna say where Bailey costs Lyra just to get back at her, and then feud with Becky for the Intercontinental title herself.
Yeah, that could
happen too.
We also had to build for the AJ Styles Dominic Mysterio Intercontinental Championship match. AJ Styles and Kabuki Warriors versus the Judgment Day team of Raquel, Roxanne, and Dominic Mysterio. Mm-hmm. The crowd was super into this match. This was a ton of fun.
It was a fun match. AJ gets the win, pinning Dom after a phenomenal forearm. A lot of really good stuff here, though. I mean, AJ just pinned the Intercontinental Champion, which means he ain't pinned the Intercontinental Champion at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, this one, they need to roll with Dom. Boy, that pop he got in Monterey, I think. I forget where it was.
Mm-hmm. It was Monterey. They mentioned that.
It was Monterey, yeah. God damn, that was loud.
It was pretty loud.
Yeah. I hope he wins. I don't think he's going to, but I hope he wins that mega championship.
That'd be something else. So we had this sit-down interview with Sammy and Corey Graves, and he asked Sammy about what do you want to accomplish with the match at SummerSlam with Karrion Kross. And Sammy says, I'm hoping to be done once and all for it. He's obsessed, and I don't know what he wants. Sammy, listen, he's told you what he wants. Come on.
Yeah, you can really, if you don't want to be involved with Kross, all you got to say is, I'm a liar.
Yeah,
I've lied in my life.
Say that, Sammy.
The one time I was, you've been like, you've done like jury duty, right? Like not actually, like you've shown up for it, right?
So I've shown up and got selected to be in a jury pool.
Yeah.
And then, I
dismissed,
I got
right?
out of it. Yeah, I got out of it.
How did you do that?
So it was
this is such a tangent, by the way.
It is. It was a case involving, I think, a drunk driver.
Okay.
And then, so one of the...
Oh, I remember. You said something like drunk driving, I think, is wrong.
Yeah, the prosecutor asked, does anybody have strong feelings about drinking and driving? And I raised my hand.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, how do you feel about it? I was like, yeah, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that just a common sense thing?
Other people are more ambiguous,
it's a situation where and I don't want to make a broad general statement, but it's, a situation where you're up there and you don't want to be the person that upsets anybody. And so
that's exactly what jury pools are. Yeah. You don't want to speak up.
I imagine everybody in that pool with me probably had some feelings one way or the other about drunk driving, but not everybody raised their hand about it.
Yeah, I remember the questions that really tripped me out were like somebody said, I even forget what it was. It was like some dude beat up an old guy in a Home Depot or something like that. And like we were asked, has anybody here ever been, God, what was it? It was like, can you all tell when you're being lied to? And everybody's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, no, like I'm being lied to. If somebody's convincing, then no, I'm not going to know that I'm being lied to. And then somebody else said, like another guy said something like, do you all trust the word of a cop? And having talked extensively with my friend used to be, his girlfriend used to be, or she is, it's his ex-girlfriend, a public defender. And she would tell me all sorts of stories. And I was like, no, it's their job to get the conviction. Like they get the arrest and they get, it's like what they want to do. They arrest these people because, I want to put this person away. I said, so no, they're going to lie. Of course they're going to lie. I said, I pointed at the defense attorney. I'm like, you're going to lie to get your way. I pointed at the prosecutor. You're going to lie to get your way. Go to lunch, come back. You're good. You can leave now. I was being God's honest truth, man. I'm like, y'all are liars, all of you. I wasn't trying to get out of it. Part of me, even though it was like right after we got laid off and we had like to work, we were like, oh, we're trying to hustle here to make sure we're okay. So I was like, I don't want to take 2 weeks off to do a jury. But part of me was like, I kind of want to be selected because I think it'd be kind of cool.
It would be interesting.
But I wasn't going to lie to get there,
No.
Anyways, talking about liars, Sami Zayn, all you got to do is be like, yeah, I've lied in my life. Hey, Larson, I've lied in my life before.
I think just about everybody has, yes.
Right. So you can claim that you're a liar. If you want to be done with this, just say you're a liar.
Yeah, just say it. It's real easy. You know what he wants, Sammy. So he continues, though. He says, is he trying to get some warped truth? I don't care. It's impeding me and standing in the way of my goals. And at SummerSlam, I put an end to it once and for all. So Cross and Scarlett walks in. Cross says, leave, Corey. I insist. So Corey leaves. Cross takes a seat across from Sammy. He said, I had this idea to blast your stomach with a steel rod again, but you wouldn't make it to SummerSlam, so that doesn't work for me. I got everyone here to show their true colors except for you, and it's really pissing me off. After I beat you at SummerSlam, you will say Cross told the truth, and you can go on and be world champion, whatever you want. Believe me, Sammy, you are not different from anyone else and certainly no better than me. And Sammy says, you think you're so smart? You got me figured out. What do you want? I lose to you, I'll say whatever you want me to say. But think maybe you're wrong about me. Maybe you're wrong about yourself. So when I beat you at SummerSlam, make no mistake, I will. You're going to look in my eyes and say to me that you are wrong.
Now, what's sad about this is that one of these scenarios is actually pretty compelling. The other is what's going to happen and that Sammy's going to win and Cross is going to say that I was wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen. It could be interesting, but what are they going to do? Go the safe, boring route.
I hope I'm proven wrong about that.
Same.
I hope Cross wins that match. But he already beat Sammy, didn't he? Oh, yeah, because he cheated. Yeah, he already beat Sammy. So, yeah, he's going to go the other way.
Yep.
Boy, Grayson Waller's in phenomenal shape, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's in really good shape. He's jacked. Didn't matter.
He's put on some muscle.
Didn't matter. He had a match with Sheamus. Sheamus ended up beating him, even with Rusev showing up.
Yeah.
So
Rusev didn't do a whole lot of anything in trying to interfere in that match. I think he just wanted his pound of flesh afterwards. He's more concerned with that.
Yeah, we had like Sheamus was being interviewed about Rusev, and he was talking about his match with. Interview with Sheamus. He was talking about his match with Rusev. Waller and the New Day walk up, and he's like, I got rid of Theory, and now the greatest tag team of all time has my back. The New Day and Grayson Waller. You see the New Day back there. They're like, what? We don't have your back. And so Sheamus is like, you're still lurking around the nether regions of WWE like the bad infection no one wants. You want to scrap? You want to fight? You want to go as Celtic Warrior? That's music to my ears. Let's do banger. So Waller says, yeah, we're not scared. And then he turns around. The New Day's not even there anymore. Yep. So we have that match. Rusev comes down to try to distract. Waller tries to go for a roll-up. He only gets 2. And then, according to these notes here, Theory turns into a bro kick. Waller turns into a bro kick. Was that a Garrick situation here? And then Sheamus gets the win with a bro kick pretty easily there. Afterwards, Rusev comes in, attacks him with a shillelagh, locks in the Accolade. Would probably get another match with them on Raw or something.
I would think so. So. Rusev should probably win that one. I mean, if I probably would have put Theory turned to a bro kick from Theory. That's probably what I would have done.
Theory hits Theory, yeah.
Theory hits Theory with it. That's what I do all the time. Someone hits themselves with the finisher. That's not even their finisher.
Yeah.
And then we had LWO getting their tag title opportunity against Judgment Day. So before that match, Judgment Day is warming up backstage. This is following the loss that Dom and Roxanne and Raquel had. And Finn says, chin up. It's just one night. Think about it. People said it was over when we lost Rhea, when we lost Damien. Factions come and go, but we're still here, stronger than ever. Yeah. Dom, stay back here and chill. Why don't you play some video games? And Roxanne hands him a Switch. Says, you should play WWE 2K25. And Raquel says, you know who loves playing that game? Liv. And Dom says, we can call her. FaceTime.
Well, it's FaceTimer. Nobody seems interested in that. Even Dom. No. He was just saying that for lip service.
Seemed that way. So Judgment Day gets the win because Americano comes to ringside to distract LWO. Dragon Lee comes out to fend off Americano, but there's now a second Americano. So we have Cruz hits a super kick, take out JD. He heads up top, and then another Americano pushes him off the top. Finn then hits a coup de grace to get the win. According to Garrick, Garrick suspects here that it's Peter Dune.
After further inspection, yes, does look definitely looks like Peter Dune. I watched a couple still shots here. I think that's fucking hilarious. Because it gets sort of morphed into like what it was before, where it was like, okay, you're kind of on sketchy territory. Now it's just a bunch of assholes wearing Americano gear, and it kind of makes me laugh. Like the idea of Pete Dunne talking in Spanish with a British accent really makes me laugh. So I'm kind of curious how this is going to go down. You know what they should have done here? Here's some fantasy booking for you. What they should have done. Dragon Lee doesn't come out to help with Americano. Dragon Lee is the second Americano. And he's trying to pin. Yeah, but then LW's like, what the hell, Dragon Lee? Clearly you're the second Americano. And he's like, no say, no say. Lo siento, no say.
Yeah.
But no, it's Pete Dunne. So I wonder how many Americanos are going to be.
I mean, apparently there's no upper limit right now.
No upper limit. Also, no question threads. I know that's what you're looking for right now.
No, I put one up on Patreon during the show.
Look at you. Good job. Once again,
so we got that at least.
Once again, YouTube gets buried.
Alex Foster here says, what wrestlers should make the save for Cena when babyface Cody Vengers jump him? So we got Cody, we got Jey Uso, maybe Jimmy, Sammy.
Yeah.
All jumping John Cena to start this match.
Listen, old man. You know what? We're tired of you going around hitting R-Truth with titles. So that's not going to happen. It's because of you that we had Punk Life. So swarm them, and they just jumped the shit out of John Cena. So who comes to John Cena's aid? Stu,
yeah. Stu, cameraman. Yeah.
Claudio, cameraman.
What if CM Punk came to Cena's defense? He's so angry and upset about what went down in his match. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't make any sense, yeah.
Maybe a situation where, I lost World Heavyweight Championship. Looks like Cody's winning the Undisputed title. Get to a program there, see if I win myself a championship somehow.
Yeah, that could be.
Ty Moore here says, which wrestler's shoes would you want to steal the most? The Young Bucks. They have a good shoe collection.
They have a very expensive shoe collection.
Which is why, if given the opportunity, take those shoes off.
Yeah, I could see that. Dom usually has pretty cool shoes on. I'd take Dom's.
Yeah, Dom. Yeah,
because it's more. I feel like his is more selective. Like the Young Bucks, like every week it's another pair, and I feel like they don't mean anything at that point. With Dom, it's always like I don't notice it every single time, but when I do, it's like, oh wow, look at that. That's nice.
Yeah. Usually he's got his Travis Scott Jordan 1 logo.
Yeah,
Dom does. Ad Mac here says, hot take, the Jay Jimmy WrestleMania match wasn't nearly as bad as we all saw and remember.
Are you on the hot take?
The match was, said it was ruined by a sponsorship, never had a chance to succeed. No, it was a bad match.
It just wasn't a very good match.
No, it wasn't. Nate Cruz says, given all of history, what athlete or wrestler sneakers or cleats would you steal?
Throughout history.
Yeah. What athlete it's Michael Jordan, because you can auction those things off and make a fortune.
Yeah, how much do you think like the very first Jordans that he wore in a game would be
Tons. Flu game Jordans.
worth? Yeah.
Jordan 13s, I believe. No, 12s. Tons.
At the very least, I think 6 figures.
Yeah.
You think it'd pass a mil?
I think the first pair of Jordans would. Yeah. The banned ones, the ones that he got fined for wearing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because there's a story there.
Yep. Yep. Same with the flu game one. You could probably make a ton of the flu game Jordan 12s.
Probably, yeah. Germs and all.
It's food poisoning, I think. Food poisoning.
Yeah. Doo-doo butt.
Smurf Galway, Stephen M. says, what would be the Shit Twins wrestling entrance and catchphrase? Of course, that'd be our tag team name. Shit Twins.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was one of the first insults lobbied our way. Or
Yeah.
lobbed our way.
Thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
What would be our entrance music?
You know, maybe something...
It would have to be something grunge because we're so known for doing our grunge takes.
Yeah, it would be a grunge sound, but instead of a grunge song, but instead of lyrics, it would just be the melody and fart noises.
Oh, wow.
So
Like
say
them
it's-
bones.
Yeah.
But that sounds horrible. Can we just use them bones? No fart sounds.
What does Dem Bones have to do with
Defecation?
Shit Twins? Yeah.
It's just a cool song. It's a killer entrance theme.
Is there a killer entrance theme we can use that is more tied thematically to Shit Twins?
Can we just not be the Shit Twins? Can we just not be poo themed? I feel like Steven Larson is a good enough brand that we can. I don't really want to be the guys with the fart noises. I don't want to be that.
All right, I'll drop the fart noises, but keep the name. Shit Twins.
And on top of that, it's just another going in Raw situation where it's like it's going to limit our ability to make money.
Here's what's really going to limit our ability to make money in the wrestling world: the fact that we're old and don't know how to wrestle. It won't take bumps.
Well, it's not helping things when we're branded as poop.
But that's the hook. That's the thing. That's our gimmick.
No, it's not. Our poop's not our thing.
Maybe the idea is we come to the ring, and the idea is like, oh my gosh, these guys are covered in defecation. I don't want to wrestle them.
You're just making it worse.
And then people are willing to just walk out, count out, win for us. Run to
I
Steve.
don't want to be the poop guy.
But we don't lose.
Everybody loses if we're the poop guys. That's disgusting. I can't go out there. My family's there watching. They're like, what are you
No, we're
doing?
not really covered in poop.
You're humiliating
No.
yourself. How do we make that? How do we kayfabe that? Gotta smell like poop.
Yeah, I suppose.
The defining characteristic of poop is, in fact, the smell.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something we could use.
I mean, what if we're like the Waldorf and what's the other guy? Statler
Statler.
and Waldorf
Yeah.
of wrestling.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there because we're old,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll think about it.
no,
We'll
we don't.
workshop it a little bit.
Ryan Luckman here says, with Happy Gilmore 2 out, what other Sandler movies should get a sequel and which wrestlers should be in them?
Oh, man, I got to watch Happy Gilmore too. All the clips I've seen are hilarious.
I want to do a sequel to to Hustle, the NBA
I
or the
need to
basketball
watch
movie.
that one too. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
that one's
it.
really good.
Yeah. I think Happy Gilmore is like the one. Like that was like his best one back in the day. So I don't know you can't really do an Uncut Gems one, can you?
No.
Boy, that was a bummer of a
You
movie.
could do a prequel.
You could do a prequel. Yes, you could. Yeah, that's good. I don't have the question thread in front of me. I'm just going off of what you're
That's
saying.
everything else we kind of covered.
Thoroughly unprepared for the questions.
What can I do to convince you of the Shit Twins? We can get rid of the covered in poop stuff. That's fine.
Okay, number one, a theme song with poop sounds is a non-starter.
I just want to keep the name. I just want the name Shit Twins.
Look, if it's like, oh, these guys are crappy or these guys are shitty, then that's fine. I'm fine with that. Although, like, it's still, how are we going to get on the USA Network with the name Shit Twins?
Again, I think there's a lot holding us back from being WWE superstars. That our name is just
listen, motherfucker. No, listen, no. Now I'm mad. You know why? Because just yesterday, Steve, you could totally have Brock Lesnar's body. And now we can't be WWE superstars? Which one is it?
They're not going to sign a couple of dudes nearing 50 who just started wrestling?
If I look like Brock Lesnar, they will.
No, but you might look like Brock Lesnar, but you're not going to move like Brock Lesnar. You don't have any like wrestling skills like Brock Lesnar.
Okay, why is it that I can look like Brock, but all of a sudden, what happened to I Believe in You, Steve? What happened to that? I can move like Brock?
Obviously.
I'm sorry, I can look like Brock, but I can't move like Brock?
Yeah, you're nearly 50 years old.
There's a 79-year-old who can dunk, Larson. If he can dunk, I can become a pro wrestler.
No, you can't.
Trip Rogers waited till he was like 53 to be a pro wrestler. Look at him. He's doing great.
Yeah, he's doing great, but no, I don't think you can. I don't think you can do that.
What the fuck? So I can look like Brock, but I can't be a wrestler. Which one is it? I need to know.
I know you can't be a wrestler because you're not going to take bumps first.
If I look like Brock, I could, because then you don't feel them. You got so much muscle.
No, you still feel them.
You don't feel them.
You do feel them.
Brock doesn't really bump that much either.
No, he doesn't bump really at all.
Yeah.
2, you're old. No major wrestling.
Boogeyman was like 50 when he started. DDP was like 35.
He was 35 when he started. You got a whole decade on him. You're not going to make it through training to be a wrestler. You take your first bump, you're like, nope, done.
If I look like Brock, look, man, you and I know there's some training out there where apparently you don't have to bump. We can't tell that story, but God damn it, that was funny. Yeah, you tell me, once you heard that, you didn't start thinking, hey, maybe we could.
No, of course not. Of course not. I can't get away with not bumping.
Evidently, maybe you can. No. I think you can.
No, I don't think so.
You're going to walk in with our star power, be like, hey, guys, we're not going to bump. Okay, cool. We'll figure out something for you.
So what are we going to do during our matches? Headlocks?
Gaga.
It only goes so far, man.
No. Gaga.
What, are we going to talk people into laying down and eating the pin? Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, we'll do like a rich guy gimmick. Here, I'll give you $50, a $50 bonus. Because it's not going to be on the indies.
That doesn't involve you actually wrestling, though.
Yeah, right. But I have a match, and then I win it because the guy just lays down. I put my foot on him. They're pinned. Hey, cage match, 9.6.
I don't think your rating will be that high unless you pay everybody on Cage Match to give you high marks.
I kind of just don't appreciate that yesterday you had me inspired to look like Brock Lesnar.
Which I think you could totally do.
And today you brought me down. I can't wrestle. What's the point then?
See, because I feel like with a lot of hard work and dedication, you really watch what you eat.
Yeah.
You could transform your body in amazing ways, Steve. I believe that.
Okay.
But I know you personally. There is no way you would get in a ring and actually wrestle.
I feel like your assertion that that's my limit. I feel like that's unfounded. And now I'm doing it.
Have you ever thought that maybe I'm in your head now and I'm trying to inspire you in a different way?
Oh, now I don't want to do it. Now I'm not going to do it. That's going to do it for this show today. Enough of this tomfoolery. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. Tomorrow we got our Hot Takes episode. Thursday, we're going to review all 5 hours of that bullshit Unreal show. And then, of course, hopefully you'll join us for SummerSlam. We're going to be doing our live watch along. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.